Hey everybody. Oh man, I just really dig that song. I mean, anyway, how are you doing? Welcome to my world. And I hope your world is doing well as mine. And yeah, all right, I think I got all the buttons in the right place. So what the heck is up, folks? Favor be unto us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Check your inventory. If it is, then you need to do something different. What's happening? Hey, David Castle, how are you doing? Posey, Grandpa Brian 420, how are you, my good friend? Robin, good to see you. And Mike and Coyote Prophet, good to see you as well. Thank you, all the moderators, and thank you for the wonderful job you're doing. And to the audience, well, y'all are just the best. Pretty groovy people, actually. And we certainly aren't what the backdrop is. We're going to be talking about this today because, you know, I saw earlier, who was it that posted that? Was it you, David? Or hey, Lucky Stone, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you. Hey there, Steve Zerloff. Good to see you, my friend. And the Delta hooks at what's happening. And Kelly and Barry, how's it going? Eye of the Maelstrom. So, interesting thing. I mean, we are in strangeness. And all I got to say to you folks, I was meditating. I got to tell you, hey, Kaz, much love to you, my dear. The Norseman, good to see you, Paul Joe. I think 2021 is, man, if you don't have, hey, Sarah, how you doing? The seatbelt, you need a 5-point seatbelt. One of the great things I really enjoyed about flying on the 787, the Dreamliner back in the days, was that in first class you had your own cabin, you had your own pod, and the cool thing was is that they provided you with 5-point seatbelts. I mean, they should do that with everybody, but it's too much weight. But anyway, you need to strap it in. That's all I got to say. Hey, Suzanne, good to see you. So checks are going out tonight. The government. The interesting thing about this, it's an interesting game afoot here. 180 days. The clock now is started. And I read the provision in the committee. It wasn't originally in the bill, the omnibus bill that Trump signed. It was in a committee bill that was attached to the bill. And so now the Pentagon, um, all black ops where UFOs are concerned. I read their definition, and I don't know how they're going to get out of this box. So in 180 days, they have to tell the American people either the little green guys, the grays, are real, or this is all a bunch of bullshit. And who knows? I mean, is this the defining moment? Is this the D-Day? Is this disclosure day? I really like to see what Linda Mulholland has to say about this. And I know that there's a couple of others. Are we really going to find out? Is what happened, what's been happening with all these high-ranking foreign ministers in the military coming out and saying, hey, yeah, we ain't alone. In fact, and it's interesting. They say there are government officials who have met with him. Yeah. Hello, Martin and Heidi. How you doing? Good to see you. Hello, Bonnie. Good to see you as well. Hello, Lois, Cajun Queen. Good to see you, my dear, and Ellen. So, yeah, strangeness. I read a very interesting. I'm not going to do it here. I'll do it on my uh, New Year's Eve show on the Steiger perspective. Um, Folks, there is such strange energy. There are many who believe that Trump will fulfill prophecy, and they're absolutely certain on it. Hello, Darth. How are you doing? Beloved Abstract. Posey, good to see you. Wise April, good to see you, my dear. Good to see you. There's Nina the Mystic. Hello. So, Robert V is in the house. Good to see you. Is Big Al and Perry in? I haven't seen them. So, key dates to look forward to in January. January, I think, this is going to set the tempo for the rest of 21. The 6th and the 20th of January. Strangeness. Yeah. What prophecy? Interesting you ask, Emperor Rex. It's really quite interesting. I don't want to say it here because, quite frankly, we just don't need that kind of attention. But I'll be talking about it on the Steiger perspective. As Sherlock Holmes said to Watson, the game is afoot, dear Watson. And I believe the pieces are moving fast and furious. I really do believe that. Have you thought about this? I did a show on this in this year, and I did it. I think the first one I did was in 2018, where I did a whole show on the golem. How even in the Old Testament, it speaks of how the high priest in Israel made a golem. And a golem was what they created to fight a lot of their battles. The thing about a golem is that it's doesn't have a soul, doesn't have anything. It's kind of just an empty vessel. And the way that they're brought in, they don't last long because they're a golem. But imagine this. Imagine a golem is nothing more than a living thought form. So we're going to study today in a book that's going to talk about the Igor, which is a living thought form, a golem that is ruling us. Weird. And I almost have to say that I'm beginning to think maybe something along that line. Because I don't believe humans are at the top of the food chain on this one. I just don't. I don't think that we're that bright. Whatever it is here is of two origins, in my opinion. Either something off-world and or something that has the ability to manifest itself in multiple planes of consciousness, dimensions, quantum realities. This all ties into a theme we're going to really focus in on. What is reality? I'm reading some white papers on some pretty interesting, academics that have really given this a lot of thought. What is reality? I mean, the fact that I'm sitting in this office, I'm out here using the Ethernet, we call the internet. I'm out there in the realm. My voice, and if you've ever done a show, ever said anything on the internet, you're out there now. You're out there in space, and you're traveling little less than the speed of light. Your image, your voice, which is the essence of who and what you are, or at least at that moment in time. And as it whirls out into space in all directions, it's quite interesting to think about it. Because technically, I guess you could say, in essence, we're all living in two different time realities already. This video, as it goes out and is broadcasted, it will hold a snippet of time. I will go on, I will continue to evolve, but the me that is out there at this moment that's being broadcast will forever be frozen in the dimension of time itself, that fourth dimension, where I will never grow old. I will never change. I will forever be what this current image is catching, the essence of who and what I am, what I feel this body with, and the emotions of my personality. Now, can you imagine this? So you're an alien race. You've come into this quadrant of space, and you pick up these signals. So, hey, Big Al in Trinidad. Hey, well, good to see you, brother. Safety around you. And so you've got these, they may be bipedals, they may be humanids, they may be whatever, but they get the video of me. And if that happens, we can always have other means. But nevertheless, as it's captured, because that signal is going to continue to go. And so they're watching. And then the next thing you know, because they don't look at any other, it's interesting. You just think about the probability factor here. They just capture this video, me talking to you. And then all of a sudden, it so impresses them as to what this species is, me. A lot of imagery around me. What's he talking about? Why does he have these people behind him wearing? What are they wearing? Do they not have any eyes? You see how this goes? I call it they're feeling the Wayne, you know. They that song. Jay, thank you for sending that. But think about it. I could become a whole religion. I think that's how it happens. I don't think it's the way that we have been taught. Just don't see it. And then imagine something dominating, ruling us, this planet. And it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a spirit. It is a thought form. Now, some say that consciousness doesn't have a soul or a spirit either. But a spirit has consciousness. Yeah, only a sleeper considers it. That's true, Raven. Yeah. So it's really weird. I mean, like I said, I'm putting this show together on reality. Folks, reality doesn't exist. It only exists for me. I don't know about you, because in true reality, I am the only one that's here. All of you are just merely, a dream, a thought, an occurrence. My reality is just me. And it's interesting how that begins to look at, well, what if there's a higher intelligence that doesn't have a spirit? I've asked this question many times. Does a higher intelligence necessarily have a spirit or a soul? Why would it want one? If it's consciousness, then it would be an illusion to say that you have a soul or a spirit. You are. You at the moment, whatever your thing is, I don't know. That's what makes it so strange. That's why the foundation of what we're under makes it really weird, because in a certain plane of thought, if there is a higher intelligence that only sees what we would describe as violence, tyranny, oppression, has a different way of feeding, we would be a never-ending food source. Many variants of that theme have been talked about. But what if a being was of such intelligence that it realized that the only true reality was the one that was looking at? And it had the ability to simultaneously absorb billions and billions and billions of true reality. It's a mind coitus thing. It gets deep. And so I want to show you this. So let me get right to this. And I'm going to switch over. Bonnie sent a interesting one from Have Truth Seeker. We're going to get in this. So this is it's a thesis. The God of Plunder, Predator, and Prey. The whole idea, well, we'll get into this. So the abstract is this. The author presents a fast-paced synthesis of his tour de force, demonstrates near global surrender to the misguidance of a group of mindset that magi call the Igor, a thought form golem whose entire purpose favors kings of the earth and a singular consort's love of what Bassett called legal plunder. Says the reader will tread on carpets of mystery, religions, elitists who methodically misplace mankind's trust in politically correct dissemblers. It's interesting. This crimson tail leads to a red cross, bullpens, and pentagrams of red, white, and blue slaughter, to include the manipulation of Hitler's mania, Putin's sincere veneer, and the conquered minds and hearts of the baseball cap footy fans. Readers will traverse seas of storms, ridden solitude on the author's length through Lady Liberty, minded meld to the beast of Scripture and the black sun of ISIS. Indeed, blood sacrifice and incestuous virgin mothers of disposable gods are as old as Atlas Scalia, far older than the lies of Vespasian, Titus, and Josephus, told that birthed Christianity. Put on your seatbelts and read the fine print, all of it. You're going to love this, folks. This is an official establishment history that dominates textbooks, trade publishing, media, and library shelves. The official line always assumes that wars, revolutions, scandals, and assassinations are more or less random, unconnected events. By definition, events can never be the result of a conspiracy and never result from premeditated, planned group action. Did you get that? An excellent example is JFK's assassination. Woe betide authors who fell outside official guidelines. To ensure the official line dominates, for example, in 1946, the Rockefeller Foundation allotted $139,000 for an official history of World War II to avoid a repeat of debunking history books that embarrassed the establishment after World War I. The Order of Skull and Bones, a Masonic lodge, had great foresight in the 1880s to create both the American Historical Association and the American Economic Association, which, under their terms, with their own people and objectives. Now, I want to stop there because we're talking here about the Rockefellers. Now, they are a strange group. We're going to get back to this, but Bonnie, what you sent to me, and again, I want to give credit to the fact that this came from, I want to get this correct because I don't want to get it incorrect. And where did I have that? Oh, have 123 Truth Seeker. So let's just keep this one in the bullpen, and I just want to read some of this to you. This is, again, and I think she said she got it off Facebook, and actually it's from a New World Order document. Anyway, it's cool stuff. So it's called The Covenant, The Secret Covenant, and I'm just going to read a little bit of it because you realize that something's really going on. That and it's interesting that Bonnie sent this because the synchronicity, again, is just flowing through here. People talk about the civilian flag of peacetime. It was erased purposely. That's what we're talking about here. The secret covenant, an illusion, it will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Well, that pisses me off right there. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time, so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. Man, I ain't feeling their vibe. Right? You know what I'm talking about, man? I mean, it's like you get into a room and you're going, these people suck. I mean, it's just like, whoa, I don't know what y'all are on, but get off of it, you know? We will work together always and remain beyond bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. Well, hell, that sounds like the Costa Nostra, you know. Hey, buddy, once you're in, you're always in. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening to them. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in the food and water, also in the air. Man, how many of you remember back in 15 is when I really remember at the peak, and it continued for up until the whole pandemic thing, the milky skies. Yeah, can we say chemtrails? Anyway, the soft metals, by the way, are aluminum, barium, those kind of things. Ball, you know what I mean? Yeah. Um, they will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. Tune in tomorrow night. From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, what they eat, what they breathe, even what they wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. That's us. We have the ability. We're psychic. We're gods. Have you figured that out? That's why there's only one reality. Yours, mine. And if there is a God, that is perceived by what the world standards is, then we are merely only its thought form. We do not actually exist. Think about that one. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it is for their help. We will start early on, when their minds are young. We will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. Isn't it interesting that yesterday the FDA came out and said, no sugar, none for children 2 and under. I hope one day that they will actually raise that up. There shouldn't be any that type amount of sugar in our food. But it is, folks, firmly established in the food stream. And now they're saying, don't give this to kids under 2. Wonder why? When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their futures. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicines that will make them sicker and cause other diseases for which we will create yet more medicines. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese. And when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods so they may never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games so they may never be one with the oneness at all. I believe that oneness should be capitalized. Their minds will become to us, their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We always hide our objectives, but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. We will foment animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or even death, whatever suits us best. We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. Isn't that all we had this year? We didn't have any love festivals. That's a fact. And all of us knew that this thing was being manipulated, manufactured. And what human would do this? Human. The hate will blind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We shall repeat this over and over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger through images and sound. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. When you start thinking about what's in a tool shed, holy crap, the tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. This they must never know. They must never know that color is an illusion. They must always think they are not equal. Drop by drop by drop, we will advance our goal. It's called nudging. It's a political tactic. All the great tyrants knew this. Stalin, Hitler, Mao, all of them. Revolution is only the last thing you want to do. The most ideal thing for hurting is to do it gradually. Just a little nudge. You never notice it until you wake up and you realize that the nudge, that you've now moved a mile. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they will have. We will establish a monetary system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. And once they go to the Fed coin, it's over, baby. When they shall band together, we shall accuse them of crimes and present a different story to the world, for we shall own all the media. We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment so that it is always in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. Now, doesn't that just piss you off, partner? What the freak? This is the kind of mindset that is really the insidious, the real contagion. And ladies and gentlemen, this is evidence today. Look at Washington. Look at these tech giants. They don't look at people anymore. They don't not realize that they are the insect. But they see us beneath the soles of their feet. You never give a thought walking down a boulevard of how many insects you're massacring as you're walking. Why? They're beneath you. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of their own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not of us. The recruits will be called initiates, and will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of passage to higher realms. Members of these groups will think they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this truth, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel to the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent fast passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. I wonder what would happen if the world leaders began to tell every human, if there's one murder, one killing that a human does, you've set us all back. The truth will be hidden in their face, so close they will not be able to focus on it until it's too late. Oh, yes, so grand the illusion of freedom will be that they will never know they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time immemorial. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we shall perish then. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never, ever find out what we have done. For if they do, we shall have no place to run, for it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall they give us shelter. That means no prisoners. This is the secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives. For this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. This covenant is sealed by blood, our blood, we, the ones who from heaven to earth came. This covenant must never, ever be known to exist. It must never, ever be written or spoken of, for if it is, the consciousness it will spawn will release the fury of the prime creator upon us, and we shall be cast to the depths from whence we came and remain there until the end of time, end of infinity itself. Well, isn't that special? Yeah, I mean, that kind of sums it up. We've seen that in many other writings, many other versions, but I think that the code exists. I think the covenant does. Uh, it's well covered. When I was a practicing Christian, it was well documented that that's how this God works, the God of the Bible. It's all about covenants. And, covenants have both a reciprocal and what they call regressive clauses. In other words, if you screw it up on your part of breaking the covenant, there are penalties. Everything is the law. Everything is covenants. So what do y'all think about that, huh? Sound familiar? Yeah. And again, thank you, Bonnie, for passing it on. And again, you should check out Have 123 Truth Seeker. She has her YouTube channel, and yeah, people are waking up to that. Yeah, Robert V, it is shocking, but very well understood. Yeah, it's kind of like you want to go to the mirror and go, now, are you awake or what? So, Charlene, absolutely. You see, this is the thing. This is the thing I think that bites us in the ass when we cross over. You know, if the scenario is that you go and before something and, they start accusing you or whatever, the best thing to do is say nothing. Just keep quiet. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, well, good morning, Claire. How are you from Long Beach? How is it? I bet it's beautiful there. All right, so let's continue. Bernadette, they say it's right before our eyes. And, I think a good example is this flag. Now, the way that they have changed the laws, it's very difficult for you to go back. Hello, April. How are you doing? But if you follow the trail, and the trail is there, it's right there in front of us. But people don't want to look at this. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to change because, it's a pain in the ass. And, if we have to go do that, then that means it's wah, 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 wah. And, it's just better if we just keep quiet, keep the peace. It really doesn't matter. It is a sigil. It's a symbol. It's emanating power over your mind. It's not your goddamn soul or spirit they want. It's your fucking mind. It's the consciousness. Screw your spirit. It's got nothing to do with it. It's your consciousness right here and now. Woo. Pissed off, am I? I am. And, because we don't do a damn thing. We let the media hype it all up. We put up with the false narratives that come out, the absolute insanity. And yet we're the ones that they say is insane. Well, so be it. As I told one particular lawyer, I said, so define normal for me. She wouldn't touch it. You know why? Yeah. Legalese is the pure English language. It really is. And most people who speak English only speak gutturally English. They don't speak the true English, which is legalese. Mm-hmm. I reject the future. I reject their future. I'm right there with you. Hey, Jenny, how you doing, dear? Good to see you, hon. So I'm just reading some of it. Knowledge is power, Crystal. Absolutely, it is. And that's how we learn. All right, so let's get back to that. And like I said, the rest of this week we're just going to have fun with these documents, picking up the tidbits here and there. All right, we continue. We have already contrived to possess the minds of the Goy communities. We're the Goy. I think that's how they pronounce it. They are looking through the spectacles. We are setting astride their noses. Henrik Brüning revealed the identities of Hitler's backers in a 1937 letter. This is really interesting, folks. I didn't, and do not even today, for understandable reasons, wish to reveal from October 1928 to the two largest regular contributors to the Nazi Party were the general managers of two of the largest Berlin banks, both of Jewish faith, and one of them the leader of the Zionists in Germany. What? Yeah. Secular historians, on the other hand, have been at pains to de-emphasize the role of the Sabbatisms for the different reasons. Not only did most of the families once associated with the Sabbatine movement in the Western and Central Europe continue to remain afterwards within the Jewish fold, but many of their descendants, particularly in Austria, rose to positions of importance during the 19th century as prominent intellectuals, great financiers, and men of high political connections. Does anyone know where Einstein came from? Mm-hmm. The men who controlled the Standard Oil took hold. With them, manipulation has ceased to be speculation. Their resources are so vast that they need only concentrate on any given property in order to do with it what they please. Wow. With them, the process is gradual, though thorough and steady, with never a waver or break, drop by drop by drop by drop. How much money this group of men have made, it is impossible even to estimate. And there is even an uttered absence. Oh, and there is an utter absence of chance that is terrible to contemplate. That's Frederick Lewis Allen in Lords of Creation, 1935. A tyrant must put on the appearance of uncommon devotion to religion. Subjects are less apprehensive of illegal treatment from a ruler whom they consider God-fearing and pious. Isn't that the truth? On the other hand, they do less easily move against him, believing that he has the gods on his side. Aristotle. He goes on, and I'm going to skip through some of this because what we're talking about here is, how do you say it? It's interesting because if golems can in fact be created, the Egyptians, they had the same process. This brings on something that's really interesting, because it's pretty clear that Homo sapiens sapiens are, how do you say it? We're either imprisoned as convicts or we're slaves. I don't know what the difference could be. Maybe we're both. So I want to get in here into the point. All right. The cold-hearted reptile analogy aptly describes merchant class usurpers, our neo-kings of the earth, old worm-eaten dragons and newly evolved squire matters were and are under management of conspiring mystery religion initiates. Where the hell did we just read that from? It's like these two documents, and Bonnie didn't know this. She didn't know I was going to, I doubt if she even has this, but if she does, I mean, no way of ever knowing. Someone is talking to us, folks. Someone is guiding us. I am convinced of it. Whose Igor magic hails from ancient Babylon. This is where the knowledge came. However, as Dr. Sutton remarked, no one is licensed to say so. Meanwhile, natural laws, markers, fall due like dominoes because absolute truths yield absolute inverse consequences when their beneficent directives are shunned. When this happens, non-accidental violent seas swamp entire ships so that all hands, officers, passengers, and the inundated cargo suffer equally. However, In between divine blows, temporal schemes do bring temporal marvels to a happy contingent of state-of-the-art yacht clubbers and hell-bound titans with dystopia overwhelms of the voiceless majority. Pinch-worthy natural defaults are categorically guaranteed by divine directives whose secrets lie under centuries of unexplained dust, or why Davy Jones and the cargo holds the Dutchman. Outcomes depend on how men handle red carpet and carpeted devotees to Mithras. Where have we studied Mithras before? See, this is just so weird. They're all tied together on this. We just got to get the fog off the glass so we can see. A matter he goes on to say, I will demonstrate in a few pages, and I'm going to break off this because of time, and I'll get this laid out for you in tomorrow's show when we'll actually get in here and show you how they do this. He actually goes through the explanation of showing how they created these golems, these thought forms. And I did a show this year on how you can create a servitor. And it's in the archives. It's the same thing. One of the keys that that I have found, and I found this, and I'd be curious about David Barry, get his comment on this. In the Golden Dawn, one of the things as I was reading that, it became very clear to me for myself what was happening when I was getting into deep states of meditation, where you allow the thoughts selectively or randomly and try to trace your thoughts. When a thought comes in, who made that thought? Where did that thought come from? Because if it came from somewhere, where does it go when you're done with it? Now, some people are able to take a thought and make themselves billionaires. Some are able to take a thought and they end up killing themselves. And there is a theory that says as wherever these thoughts come from, it's a realm that no one actually rarely discussed. And then the interesting thing is in this period, if you focus in on a singularity of thought, you give it life. I bind them because they're my servitors. Some take a while for me to create, and you can do it. In fact, all of us do it. It's just we've not been taught, unaware of it. But if you, for instance, spend time daily meditating on a specific goal, let's say you want a new house. The universe is filled with abundance. It's not lacking anything. Ember, same principle. She says, if you tell a lie over and over again, people will believe it's the truth. Exactly. That's the reality that you and I live in today. We live in a lie. Our whole society is built upon a lie. Our government is built upon a lie. Our religions are built upon a lie. It's all a lie. But it is proof of the truth. Yeah, that's just weird. But getting back to the point of how you can actually give birth, a living thought form. Now, once it accomplishes what it was created for, you have to release it. It did your bidding, and now you will let that life form go, and it will have whatever it's going to have. It's amazing to see how a thought can grow. And once a thought form is adapted by another human, then where two or more are gathered, the belief system becomes established. And within that group of two or more, you create a living thought form. Some call it Jesus Christ, some call it Allah, some call it whatever, but that's how they work. But it was you, the individual. And how I do this, they teach this to top performing athletes. I taught it in sales. I just didn't know at the time what I was really doing. I didn't understand the gnosis lost through the occult. Oh, folks, I'm going to tell you what. If I had known the occult like I know it today, whoa, is all I got to say. I mean, I got to tell you what, I'd be freaking unstoppable. I'm already that, but to take this knowledge, what I now know, what was coming to me naturally 30 years ago, whoa, baby. So getting back to the point, stay focused into that thought. I've told you before, in order for it to actually live, you have to have unquenchable faith that it is alive, that it does live. Once you get to that point, you see, as a man believeth in his heart, so he is. All things are possible to those who believe. There's no asterisk on that. And when you get to that point and you start seeing it and you feel the emotion of it, when you start feeling the emotion of it, it's alive. And the more that you stay focused on your energy, the more energy it will draw from, and the better it will be to actually go out and accomplish what you are wanting it to do. I'm just reading in some of the comments. So Regina says, I have creative thoughts. And that's wonderful. The thing that Regina, what you have to do is literally to stay, like I said, you can get yourself a new house. You can get anything you want. You don't matter what your social education status is. And when you start getting to the point where you actually start putting up pictures on your refrigerator in your bathroom, that just simply puts it on steroids. It's how it happens. Great athletes see themselves winning their trophies before they ever step on the field of competition. They know it. They don't question it. Doesn't matter what the day was like, doesn't matter what the game was like. They know it. All right. Well, see, we're going to continue on this, and the yes, it is. Spirit woman, I don't think so. No. And I'll just say, she asked, is the document related to the evil, the devil in the Bible? I'm going to tell you something. That doesn't exist. I mean, the personifications that we have been grown up, because it's sewn into our culture. Why, of course there's a devil, Wayne. What do you mean? Evil exists, and I'm going, no. When you get to the point and realize that there's neither good nor evil, again, I contend we're being controlled by something that's not human. It's not of human intelligence. And if we can get past that and realize that there was a select group of humanoids, sellouts, they would say, they're here, they're placed. It gets pretty weird, doesn't it? It's like, holy crap, now what do I do? Nina has her show at 4 p.m., 1 p.m. I don't know, 1 to 4. Anyway, check that over on Facebook. So, Ember Dawn, how are you doing? The Prince of the Air is real. Oh, yeah, let me tell you, they exist. They do exist. We see them. We see them all the time. They're incorporated into our religion. They're incorporated into our science fiction. They're incorporated into our culture. And the reason why there's so many of them, isn't it odd? You know, that's the one thing I have to say about religion. The reason why I walked away from religion is that you can't say that one religion is right and all the rest are wrong. You can't do that. I mean, people, they do it, but I mean, seriously? I mean, yeah, I don't think so. And that's the big trap. It divides us. And it seems like anything that divides us goes to their favor. It's when we all say, you know what, you're different. You have different beliefs, but you know what? I love you, man. You look like I do. I've got a sense that you're the same way on the inside. You know, I respect your reality. Now, if we could start doing that, we'll find them. I think they will be coming noticeable very quickly. Okay, folks, I'm going to go. This is fun. I tell you, we're going to get it. I want to get Marsha Clark on here because I want to talk. There's a book out there called The Archons. And it's very interesting because I think we're all beginning to see this slowly. We're beginning to see this. And, you know, yeah. Crystal says, oh, thank you. Well, thank you, Crystal. Thank you for being here. Thank all of you for being here. You just all are just beautiful people. And I appreciate it. You know, we all learn. And thank you, Bonnie, for sending that. Folks, I have it on a Word document. And if you want to, I'll be more than happy to send it to you. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it's happening. We're getting together on this. We really are. And from so many different angles. At some point and it's just mathematics here. Hey, Sarah, thank you. Tanya, thank you as well. We hit critical mass. Maybe we might do it in 180 days. I don't know. We're certainly going to find out. So thank all of you so much. Y'all are the best. So appreciate it. And well, like I said, I will see you tomorrow. All right.